Welcome, everybody, to Breathe Live, another episode of Breathe Live. We have been on a hiatus for personal reasons for me, because I wanted to make sure what God had for me, that I was walking in the right direction. So now that we got all that cleared up, we're back on. Me and Allie Hughes is my co-host. On this one, it's just me interviewing interviewing Edward Pruett. I forgot to ask. I hope I had said his last name right, but he's running for Westland mayor. So most definitely take a seat, man. Sit back. It's family friendly. Don't worry about it. have a seat, and I'll be right with you. All right, I'm gonna bring in Edward right now. How you doing, brother?
I am good. I'm good. Pastor Edward Pruett here.
Edward Pruett. I was like, man, I hope I get his last name. I hope I get his last name right.
Okay. It is okay. It's for some reason it's difficult. Sometimes I forget it while I'm sleeping, but it's okay.
Hey, man. Hey, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, man. I'm humbled, that you accepted the invitation. So thank you for that.
Thank you for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here as well.
All right. First of all, just let me know more about you. Who are you and why are you running for Westland mayor?
Fantastic. Hey, I'm just a person. I mean, really break it down. I'm not a politician. I just believe in the people. I was born here in Michigan. When you're a kid, you move where your parents go. So I was down in different areas of the country, moved back to Michigan in 2007, been in this area for quite a while, a few years here in Westland. Westland's been just an amazing place to make home. There's so many opportunities. The community is amazing. I just find it a wonderful place to raise my child. My other kids have grown, so I'm just excited. So,
yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Another question I have for you, see it on the screen. If you could change one thing in Westland zoning code, what would it be, and why?
First thing, we got to look at the whole zoning component, anyways. The way Westland is set up, it's not set up for success. It's not set up with any true definitive idea of what a city should look like. We have to make sure the city is conducive for leisure. We have to make sure it's conducive for businesses. A great, amazing shopping district that stands out. Many people leave Westland to go other areas. So whether we have a zoning component here now in Westland, it's not attracting the businesses that we need. So we're in a time where we have to have a great economic development plan, which will also lead towards specific zoning components that will help build businesses, make Westland the place to be, the place to live.
Okay. All right. Here's another question. If you received, this would be nice, wouldn't it? If you received $1 million grant to use for your city, what would you do with it and why?
That's an easy question. Give back to the community. The first thing that I've noticed is our taxes here are extremely too high. So that's why I want to create a program called the Heart of Westland. That it has a budget line item where the city is contributing into that. It's giving back to the community, where people, if they have times of needs resources, they're able to reach out to a one-stop shop to be able to get help and don't have to look in 100 different areas. If I had $1 million, I would figure out how to help the community members who have invested so many times, so much of their money, so much of their time into the community. That's the number one thing.
Okay. So, one of the things that I think that's crazy for me, right, especially when people run for office, I always wonder, what makes a person get up and go, you know what, I'm gonna run for mayor, or I'm gonna run for city council, or whatever that may be. So my next question is, what made you decide to run for the mayor of Westland?
That's a great question as well. One of the biggest things, this is a big position. This is an important position. There has been a lot of disrespect, a disregard,
Mm-hmm.
and anyone who steps in this role has to take it seriously. So I took months and months of prayer. I took months and months of seeking myself, talking to the community. Can I do this? And this is one of those times where you have to have someone who can say yes. I was able to say yes emphatically. I have been an activist in the community, advocating for the people. I've been a business owner for over occupation, operations and leadership
Okay.
for over about 20 years. So I have the experience. I have the wherewithal to do that. And when I was looking at it and I was speaking to the people, when I was talking to all the residents, it was them that drove me to decide that this was the right time at the right place to make change. And I'm a change agent. I've even in every career opportunity that I've had, whether it be my consulting businesses
Mm-hmm.
or even in the operational leadership component, I was leading change.
And that's one thing too. I think, and especially talking about a mayor, have to have some kind of leadership, right? Have to have some
Absolutely.
kind of say, hey, we're gonna do it this way. Hey, move left, move right. So that you definitely fit that part of the job. Another thing, what will be the biggest challenge for you in this position?
The biggest challenge is looking through all the books, looking through what has been, searching out and finding where all the failures have been. There's a lot that is public view, but there's a lot of areas that we don't see. So
Mm.
really going through and fine tuning, looking at what the issues are, streamlining and standardizing and positioning it well for the community. The community entrusts us with their money. So we have to be fiscally responsible and make sure that we're making the right decision. Biggest way to do that is include the people.
Mm-hmm.
Include open avenues for them to have conversations, open avenues for them to speak out and talk. Too many times the government, this current administration, has hindered the voices. If you don't talk like them, if you don't agree with them, they want to silence you. And so we have to get away from that, including the people. If we were to look at another component, there are a lot of people who will be wondering what is really going to occur. It's a whole big chain. So making sure that everybody understands that I move with integrity. They so far and so many times they've looked at the current administration and they've wondered about the character of the leaders there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lacking integrity, it's lacking transparency, it's lacking accountability. They decrease accessibility. So they've had 14 years of this brutalizing, this indoctrination that they're not included in their government that they pay for, the people that they elect and they pay their salaries. And so to be able to change the mindsets of that component will be a challenge, but it's not a challenge that can't be overcome. I have plans in place that will accommodate and create a new atmosphere. And the biggest atmosphere change is this community-based focus that the government is for the people, by the people, and not just for the people and by the people, but with the people. And so we have to have the people included, all the residents' interest to be for priority one. Too many times, it's been personal agendas and political ambitions, and the people are tired. We're right in a right situation for change. I really believe that change is in the air and that the time is now. I love that song that says change is going to come. And this year, 2021, is the year that it will come. All the people have to do is go out and vote and select Edward M. Pruett III. We are going to change things and we will make a difference, and we'll make a difference together.
All right. What do you say to people that say, I'm just going to play devil's advocate? What do you say to people that go, all right, Mr. Edward Pruett, you running for mayor and you saying all these fancy things now. Then if you win, we don't hear from you. You done forgot about the people. So what do you say to people that think that or been programmed that disappointment?
Absolutely. The first thing to do is ask a question. Too many times we want to tell people what we want.
Mm-hmm.
We need to ask the question, what does it look like to have a mayor that is involved? Mm-hmm. They will give you their answer if you just ask and willing to listen. And what I found when I've asked that specific question is they want someone who is accessible. They want someone who they can come to and talk to and feel like their concerns are really being listened to. And when you ask a question like that, that is something that's been a constant thing year after year after year. Politicians get in place and they continue to say, I'm going to, what do I like to say? They talk the talk, but then they don't walk the walk. Mm-hmm. We're tired of people not walking the walk. And so when I look at, excuse me.
It's okay.
When I look at walking the walk, it's integrity. My integrity is above. It's from a humble position that I speak that, because I value my character. Your name goes before you, and the only thing you have is your name. And so I am focused on making sure and ensuring that the people know. And so when they've asked that question, I've let them know these are the things I plan to do. I plan to have open forums where you're able to come twice a month, if not 4 times a month, opening the door to be able to have ease of access and transparency in communication. Even the FOIA requests, reducing the need for those because we provide the information. These are the things they can expect. And one thing that really blew people's mind was I said, hey, can you imagine a mayor knocking on your door throughout his tenure, working from day one, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week type mayor, knocking on your door and you have a need. And next thing you know, your mayor is right back at your door the next week with a lawnmower because you said you needed your grass cut.
So it's more of a, and I think, you as a pastor as well, one of the things that I used to always say, I think that's missing is servitude, right? I think as a pastor, you have to be able to serve, right? So a
true leader should be able to serve.
Exactly.
I mean, that's really what it comes to. They guide from the top, and once they've placed the idea and the parameters in place, they should fall under whoever they have delegated to lead it and help.
That's right.
It's not just standing in the high position and standing on top of the rock. You got to come down and be willing to work, get your hands dirty. And if you really believe in what you're saying, you're willing to get down on the ground and get to work. And if we're going to have a community that is built for community engagement, if we're building a community that's built for community togetherness, it takes everybody to be able to jump in. And you cannot stand as you are this boss with this whip saying, do this, do that. You have to be, leaders lead from the front. They lead within. They lead all around. They don't stand on top of someone's neck and say, hey, do this and I'm going to watch.
Man. That's a mouthful right there, Pastor. That's a mouthful right there.
But we really have to be in a new mindset. Too many times it's about what I can get instead of what they need. Mm-hmm. What do they desire? When we're in position, we are in position not to represent ourselves. We may be representing ourselves in a capacity, but not as the sole capacity. We are one of the residents when making decisions. So we have to look at the collective and we have to look at the interest of the entire community. And that is what goes forth. That's the only way true change can come about, is when you have the community on board, when you have the community focused, when you have the community saying, this is what I want, let's get behind it and let's run with it. Going to scripture, I have to do it. It says, write the vision and make it plain upon tables so those who hear it can run with it. If you have passion and you're putting passion in the direction, you're jumping in as well, people will take the vision and run with it. And so many people have heard the words that I have given. And this is from communication with other folks. Mm-hmm. I've gotten down on the ground, knocked doors to find out exactly what the community desires, and they want change. If we want change, we all have to be part of it. Not just the people, everybody. And then when you have that vision and people run with it, oh, change is guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is. It always takes the visionary to lead. This will be the second to last question. What would you do in the first 90 days if elected?
Fantastic. I have a lot of plans,
Mhm.
but I'm going to simplify it for here because I can talk all day. I don't know about you, but pastors have this thing where they can talk and talk and talk.
Oh yeah.
And I enjoy it, but
Hey, wait. We almost was late because we got to talking backstage, and I looked at the time. I was like, "Oh man, it's almost 7 o'clock."
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No, you're good because that's what happened. When I look at 90 days, a lot of people ask me, "What's your 100-day plan? What are you going to do in 6 months?" Well, 90 days, the first thing, day one, is I am going to direct my leaders to begin an audit of all of our finances, processes, and procedures. Okay. We have to get a baseline and understand where we are. Number two, I will be replacing the city attorney that we currently have and appointing a new city attorney. The third piece of the puzzle is I will start implementing some of these programs, which is the Heart of Westland, which is geared to bringing in nonprofits, helping businesses adopt neighborhoods to make sure that resources are brought in to help the community. We have a business that may not have had a tenant for the last year. Let's get some of these nonprofits to help with healthcare resources and see if for 6 months they can take up space and pay rent. We gotta help. We gotta be integral in all of that and have hands on. Our mall, I want to have engaged conversations with the mall owners. So the revive, revitalize, and re-engage development plan, that is to do those things with these businesses that have been shuttered, to revive the areas, to revitalize the areas, and to re-engage the area. The value plan, I'm going to implement a plan that adds value to the community. The community is already adding value to their homes. Why can't, with this high tax rate that we have, why can't we work to give them some type of business incentives? We will be going through the full tax components to see where we can cut. I've already been able to look at implementing one director position, which will take away 5 director positions. All the other, everybody under them will stay the same. It will reallocate them under this one director, and it saves approximately $400,000 to $500,000. So we are in a mode to move. As I've calculated from rough estimate, just from the changes in the directorship component, we're looking at $1 million savings. When we look at throughout the entire government and analyzing everything that's going on, we're looking at $15 million savings. So we're able to, just from the public information, I'm able to see where there's been a lot of waste and a wasted spending, too big of a government. So in the first 90 days, we have a lot to do, and that's just a little bit of it. That's just a few of the plan. But we have to make sure we are focused from day one, working 24/7, making sure the people know that we mean business. From day one through day 90, they see the current mayor has had 14 years, approximately 14 years, to make an impactful change. He has not done it. But I can guarantee you in the first 90 days of a Pruett administration, you will see immediate change that you can feel.
All right. Now, this is the last question I always ask whoever on the show this particular question. And this question is simply, what didn't I ask you that I just didn't know enough about you to ask?
Fantastic. You got some good questions here. The first thing is the platform, because this platform surrounds everything that is going to go forth from day one through day X, Y, and Z. As long as the community desires me to be in office, I will be there fighting from day one. But the first part is fiscal responsibility demonstrated, the voice of the community elevated, human rights respected, valued, and preserved. And we have to make sure that these things happen. I'm focused on making sure that the community has a government that they can trust again. Outside of that, I got a wonderful young son. He's 1 year old. He's Edward the Fourth. I have an amazing son who's 20 years old. I have an amazing daughter who's 19, and another son who is 7 years old this year. So I'm
Okay.
so excited. My wife is doing a whole bunch as well. I'm just excited for what's going on. So that's me in a nutshell. I believe in speaking the truth with
Hmm.
boldness.
Hmm.
I believe in integrity. I believe in making sure that you walk in integrity, because integrity is simply doing the right thing with people looking and when they're not looking. And many people and everybody that I've talked to, they say your character. I can trust what you're saying. So going back to that other question that you asked,
Hmm.
it is one of those things that we all must live by and lead by. The people have called for transparency. The people have called for accountability. The people have called for accessibility, and they have called for an open government, someone to lead with integrity. I am that person. So anybody wants to, they can go to www.youareimportantwestland.org to see more information. And my telephone number, you can call me at 734-444-2741. And better yet, let's go even more. Call my personal cell if you can't get me there, 734-695-0073. I believe in an open government and that you should have access when you need me.
All right. Hey, man, you already know, Pastor, it's been a pleasure having you here. Like I told you before, you're going to be on this show again, because we got to sit down and talk pastor to pastor, man, and have a good show on that. But, man, I'm humbled, man. I appreciate you coming on. If there's anything else you would like to add, this is your time to do so.
I think I've covered it all.
Yeah,
I'm just
you was
so
going, man.
I'm thankful and humbled to be in this position. This is not about me, and I tell everybody all the time, this is not a my campaign. This is the people's campaign. So
Mhm.
every investment, all the time that people put in, they're putting an investment into themselves. So I am thankful for the opportunity to be able to lead, but it's not about me. And so I'm so excited for what we're going to do.
Mhm.
I'm excited for what the people are going to get, because we got to get to a point where Westland is the place that people come to shop, to live, to do amazing things, and other communities look to emulate.
Mhm.
We have the opportunity to be the example. And unfortunately, for the last 14 years, it hasn't been done, but change is in the air, and the time is now.
All right, brother. Much love for you, Pastor. I'm gonna head you to the backstage, and I'll be with you. Give me like a couple of minutes.
Okay.
All right, that was Pastor Edward Pruett. Most definitely, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed it. I love politicians that have the thing of I'm not a politician, right? I'm a normal person that I just want to see change, and I think you're seeing a lot of that now, and I believe that's a good thing. Um, Most definitely a good thing. But that being said, we are going to head out of here. In a couple more days, I will have some flyers up on the next shows and different things of that nature. And again, I would like to thank everybody for coming and sitting down and joining with me and Pastor. Thank you.